What's going on, MSFers? Duelim here, and today we've got Ultimate 32, the defense you've been waiting for. That's right, you're welcome. So yeah, we've got Ultimate 32, and yeah, another 3 rooms and another 6 attacks to take out the room. So I'm really excited for anything that you put on defense to pretty much not hold. I feel like the only thing that will hold is going to be something that we're going to talk about in room number 1. But outside of that, I don't see anything holding in any room ever because of how this is set up, right? Like we have, 15 characters on defense, and we have 330 on our roster. So that's good. A nice, 2% of our roster is being used here. So that's lovely. So room number 1, take a moment. All characters lower their focus by 5,000% and damage by 50% for any non-Mephisto character that takes a turn before any character on defense. Now, this room we have seen before, and this room was rough. Remember when Odin Illuminati was put in there and Starjammers couldn't do anything because they couldn't do enough damage and pretty much nothing else could take it out. Room 2, Sinister's Gambit. We had some clarification on the wording of this room. So on spawn, your character with the highest health clones the enemy character with the highest attack. I still messed it up. Good for me. So highest health on your team, clones, highest attack on the other side, and then Spiritual Energy. Anytime a character gains energy from an active ability, they gain 1 extra energy. When an enemy character dies, ally character gain 1 ability energy. Ultimate abilities cost 3 more ability energy. So pretty straightforward room rules. We're going to go off of room number 3 first. I'm going to do Hive with Null in here because it's just a really fast team. And there's things like Vigilante that cannot do well here unless it's a very, very large Vigilante and Silver Sable ends up deleting everybody. But even then, it does not work very, very well. So I'm going to do Hive Null here. I don't really see anything else being good here with the room rules, with the energy and stuff like that. My first thought was something with like Cap Sam being in here, and Cap Sam with the special giving energy. But the problem is Liberty is just not good on defense. They get rolled by Superior 6, so did not think that was going to work well either. So I figured why not just throw in a pretty standard defense, a good defense to throw out there and see what ends up happening here. I do have a little bit lower Hive Mind characters, so that might come to bite me in the butt, but only one way to find out now, isn't there? So we're going to have that in here. Room number 2, again, we're doing the cloning thing. I'm just going to put Starjammers in here. I really don't think there's a good decision here. There's going to be like a trap of like, oh, you're going to clone my terrible character with the highest attack. No, like I feel like throwing any like mythic character in here, like throwing Professor X, Odin, anything like that is not great. Because then you just give them an Odin, you give them a Professor X, you give them all of these things. So I don't really like that very much. So I don't think putting something like a mythic soup in this room is smart. Also, the clone that is going to come out is going to be based off of the character with the highest health. So let's say in this room here, Groot is my highest health. He's probably not. It's probably Lilandra, right? Lilandra's the highest health. So it's going to be based off of Lilandra's stats. That summon, that clone that comes out is going to be based off of the stats. So it's kind of like how Mr. Sinister the clone was based off of Mr. Sinister's stats when he cloned an enemy, right? So that's where we're at there. It could be interesting. I'm curious to see if I'm just not thinking about something, but I feel like giving your enemy like an Odin or a Professor X or a Mephisto isn't smart. I'm also curious to see if, like, on spawn, you steal a Mephisto from their side, and then the Mephisto you stole is now able to do the Pact and do the Empowered and all that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to see how that's going to work, if it's going to be the way I think it is. I really don't know, but I'm genuinely curious to see how this room works out. Now, for room 1, we've got lower their focus by 5,000% and damage by 50%. This one, I do have a pretty standard defense that we've seen before. So I'm going to do Shadow King, Black Knight, Emma, CB, and Odin. So if you guys want to run this defense is going to be very, very strong. So it's going to rely on them going before you. But the problem is, them going before you is not actually really the best thing, because Odin's going to be going first here, and I could put somebody in here that will end up going before Odin to make sure he assists, so it forces like an Echo in here or something like that. Like, I could absolutely put Quasar in here instead of Shadow King, which I might end up doing. Put Quasar in here instead of Shadow King, who goes at 129 speed. Will then go before Odin to make sure he gets the assist in there and the charge mechanic works better and then gets that battlefield effect out there. So I'll probably end up doing that, but something similar to this is going to be very strong. Now, if you have Professor X, guess what? You probably won most of your Ultimate 32s because I don't think Professor X is going to be able to be cleared in this room unless it's like a double sack and then you got to come in and you got to like survive him taking turns because you can't control him because if you're going before him, guess what? That's not good. And you don't want to go before him because you're getting your focus lowered, the damage is lowered, all that kind of stuff, right? So I feel like if you have what people have been running, like Null, Odin, Professor X, all that kind of stuff, and you just have them in here, I don't really see this room being cleared, if I'm being completely honest. So like a Pre-Taunt, Null, Professor X, Emma, I don't think it's getting cleared, to be honest with you. I would say put like Quasar in there instead of putting Nightcrawler in there. I know a lot of people are doing Nightcrawler. I don't think Nightcrawler is a good choice because he goes so fast. He's going to negate the room rule. But yeah, I don't see Professor X really being cleared here unless you're like exhausting it, brute forcing it, and praying to the Scopely gods to clear it. So if you do have Professor X, absolutely put Professor X in room number 1. I know a lot of you guys are getting there. I'm actually getting there as well. We're about to start Hero Global, and boy, oh boy, wait till you see who I picked to take as my 5th. You're going to love it. Stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I don't really care for these room rules, honestly. Room 1 is the most interesting, and it's a repeat, which is pretty sad to see. I'm curious to see if there's something interesting going to be going on in room number 2. And then in room number 3, I just think it's a boring room, honestly. Now, when we're talking about room number 1, it does say lower their focus by 5,000% and damage by 50% for any non-Mephisto character that takes a turn before any character on defense. So another character that could potentially work well in room 1, if you're not stopping turn meter, is going to be Kahori. Because Kahori is actually ignoring these room rules. So the focus and damage of this character can only be reduced by offense down. So this room rule is actually a call out to Kahori, and Kahori does not get affected by this room rule at all. So you want to make sure you have something that stops turn meter in room 1. If not, Kahori is going to do whatever Kahori wants to do there. Now, I know she's going to basic 2 turns in a row, so not the biggest issue, but still, you don't want that happening for sure. So very, very interesting. I do like room 1, but again, when it's in Ultimate 32, it's not the best because we have so many things to take it out. And again, I think Professor X is just going to rule room 1. And like I said, I'm probably going to end up doing Quasar here instead because I don't want anybody not going before Odin here because I definitely want Odin getting that battlefield effect up when he ends up doing his special. Also, I am going to do healer on Odin as well because if you try to do Odin v. Odin matchup, this is the most annoying one by far. So love that. Going to keep that in there. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm genuinely curious to see. I really don't see this Ultimate 32 being very interesting. I don't see anything fun being in room 3. Again, outside of like Cap Sam giving energy, but outside of that, it has to be active abilities. So like Oath passive giving energy to Night Stalkers doesn't work. Juggernaut passive giving him energy. None of that works. So like Endgame Thanos passive working with Exposed and giving out energy doesn't do anything either. So it's all active abilities. So it's something from their basic, their special, their ultimate. So interesting to see what you guys think. Let me know in there on the comment section what you guys are running. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.